What is your life like right now? When you answer that question, you've got to notice that in order for you to give me an answer, you had to think about certain things that are happening within your life. And when I ask you, what's your life like right now? What comes to mind? Maybe something that recently happened in the past? Maybe something that could be happening in the future, like you have an interview or something later today? Maybe it's a problem that you've been solving. Or maybe you're just thinking of something amazing that's currently happening in your life. Or maybe you think about the fact that you're cold or you feel like you need to take a shower, right? What is your life like right now is a question that we can ask ourselves that when we answer it, our mind sort of allows us to see how we've been perceiving our life in the very recent moments of our life. Now, this is good to see because oftentimes when we're dealing with problems, for instance, or we have anxiety about something, we can notice that when we answer that question to ourselves, well, what is our life like right now? When we answer it, we call upon our attention to be able to see what is happening within our mind. When we can see what is happening within our mind, we can see how we've been perceiving our reality, okay? So to make sense of this, let's understand that the moment that people wake up, we tend to think about things. We're thinking about the past or the future or what we have to do today or anything, right? We think these thoughts, and when we answer the question, what is my life like right now? That allows us to be able to see what's occurring within my mind. What is occurring within my mind that's having me perceive reality in the way that I'm perceiving it. And what's important to realize is that that perception of reality is it's something that is called upon by you, usually unintentionally, by thinking these thoughts about it. But let's understand that those thoughts, like whether you're thinking about the past or the future or problems, those thoughts and how it's making you perceive reality is just one sort of alternative to reality, right? Because if I ask you, what's life like right now? Your mind could come up with so many different things, but you focused on something, right? But it could be focusing on literally an infinite amount of things involving the past, future, what's currently going on, problems, solutions, etc. Due to the fact that there's so many possibilities there, we've got to first understand that how you're perceiving your life it's of your choosing, right? We don't necessarily always intentionally choose it. We're just thinking about certain things and that's having us feel a certain way. But there's some sort of possibility there in the fact that you could be perceiving life in that moment in so many different ways. Like you could give me a definition of how your life is right now and what it's like. And you could come up with so many different things. And you could focus on each and every individual thing within all of those possibilities. So when I ask you, what's your life like, and your mind is giving you these answers, let's first understand that that perception of reality is being created by your mind. Presence and being able to see beyond that is what often helps us to be able to better navigate those thoughts, that way of perceiving ourselves in our life. And it allows us to not get so stuck sometimes. And by that, I mean, sometimes we can find ourselves dwelling on something that happened or something that could happen or problems that need solved. And we're constantly all throughout the day thinking about those problems or thinking about the past or the future, those events. And for all of those moments, it could be hours, it could be days upon days, people think about the same topic over and over. We got to understand that that's not our actual reality. That is our perceived reality within the present moment because we're thinking about those things. So beyond thinking about those things, about past, future, present, problems, etc., beyond thinking about those things, there's something much deeper involving you and your reality, and that is this present moment. We can find ourselves, again, focusing on, in this case, let's just say problems. We have a problem in our life and we can focus on that problem all day long, day after day. And that is how we are seeing our life. That is causing us to feel a certain way. It's causing us to behave in a certain way. And that's our life. Many people get sort of stuck in that narrow, tunnel-visioned sort of focus involving that one area of their life until there's something that they deem more important to focus on. But within all of those present moments, all of those hours, days, weeks, etc., where they're constantly focusing on that topic, there is an alternative. There is something else for them to see, not just in the realm of thought with the fact that they could be thinking about so many different things. And instead of, for instance, dwelling on the problem, they could be focusing on the solution. What we can do in those moments, besides for just having these thoughts arise and being so identified with them and seeing them as our reality, we can see our thoughts for thoughts. We just see the thoughts for what they are. Therefore, that problem in which we're seeing in front of us, it's not your actual reality. The problem is you thinking about it, bringing it into consciousness and into awareness, and you perceiving it. That's the only way that this problem can be a part of your life within the present moment, is because you're thinking about it. Beyond that thinking, though, what is actually occurring? Well, if the problem is involving solving something so that it doesn't happen in the future, that's not occurring now. You might be thinking about it, but the future isn't occurring right now. And same with the past. What we can understand here is that when we find ourselves caught up in thought, no matter what it's about, if it's something that's not really serving you, it's not moving the ball forward, when we can bring ourselves back to the present moment and see those thoughts and that perceived problem or threat or negative circumstance, whatever it may be, we can see that for what it is. It is us thinking about it within the present moment. But really, in this present moment, what's actually occurring, right? I have things within my life that need taken care of. But within the present moment, right now, if I'm not thinking about those things, and I'm here shooting this video, talking to you, perceiving my environment, it's really what's immediately happening in front of me that is my actual reality. And after this video ends, I could sure enough go about my day and just start thinking about those problems and dwelling on them and just totally be feeling them all throughout the day. But again, that involves me bringing them to life within my mind. And this doesn't mean that you should ignore problems or anything like that. It's that when we find ourselves caught up in thought about these things and they really are weighing on us and they're having us feel in a way that doesn't allow ourselves to be our best self, it's not necessarily the best way to move forward then. Like, you can acknowledge that there are things that need to be taken care of, but you can see reality for how it truly is. It's not this endless list of problems. It's not this endless list of things that happened in the past. It's not this endless list of things that you really don't want to happen in the future, right? If that's the way that you're perceiving things, let's realize again that within the present moment, it's coming into your reality because you are thinking about that particular topic. Being able to see those thoughts for what they are and not giving them so much power over you and not being so identified with them, meaning when you think a thought about a problem and you basically feel like that's what your entire life is about, that means that you're identified with that way of thinking. But let's move on throughout the day and just notice that once this video ends, be aware of what your next thoughts are. Like, what are the decisions that you're about to make? How is it making you feel? Just be aware of them. Notice that they are coming about into your present moment reality because you are thinking about them. It's causing you to feel a certain way. It's totally fine. No matter what you're thinking about, no matter how you're feeling, it's totally fine. But just witness them for what they are. And from there, consciously determine what you want to do next. Make a decision about what you want to do once this video ends. Be aware of it. Don't just be so pulled in by you constantly thinking about thing after thing after thing and just following along with that. Be aware of the thinking and move forward within your present moment reality, this physical world that you're able to move throughout. Pay attention to how you're moving throughout it. Notice your movements. Don't move so fast and so automatic, but be conscious with it and start to really determine what you want to do next. And notice that there's a lot more freedom when you come from that space. Enjoy.